All right, guys. Yes, we are back here again. We're going to be talking about religionism, and we have people that we look up to that is going to analyze this and talk about this holistically for our own understanding. I've talked about it before, but this particular one, I want you guys to listen to someone that I have so much respect for, Dele Farotimi. He has something to say over the trendy video of Pastor Enoch Adeboye. I would like us to listen to him and see what they have to say from here. Then we'll come to Daddy Phrase. Daddy Phrase also have one or two things he want to say concerning this particular message from Pastor Enoch Adeboye, saying that his prayers and some of his gullible followers is the reason why dollar have not hit 10,000 naira today. Let's listen to this quickly.
You want us to talk about the clergies? We should talk about the clergies. Problem is there is nothing to talk about. There is nothing to talk about. The only time you hear the voice of Nigerian pastors and imams is when they either they are preaching hatred or they are preaching prosperity. That is the only time you hear about them, whether they are Muslims or Christian. Okay, so if you want to break it down, let's put it this way. The Christian ones are intent on preaching ignorance. They don't seek to liberate the people with the word. They seek to enslave. The Muslim ones are a little different. They hold nobody to account. The only difference is that they are not as loquacious as the Christians, at least in the South. But look all over our country today. If God is indeed the God of truth, how come our country has been overtaken by lies, by deceit, by fakery, by a charade? All right. So you were praying so that so that naira will not fall to 10,000 to 1. Praise the Lord. The Lord hears prayers and his name shall not be mocked. Pastor Adeboye is completely correct. If they hadn't been praying, if God had not been merciful, this country should have collapsed. I spoke with friends within the system and they were telling me how almost impossible it was to pay salaries within the federal government at some point last year. So yes, Nigeria should have collapsed. And yes, everything has been done to destroy the currency. Emefiele substantially destroyed the naira under the watch of Abacha and of Buhari. The APC, almost everybody who is in government today was part and parcel of that destruction. What has the clergy ever said about that beyond praying about it? It's not enough to pray. Did prayer build the redeemed camp? Yes, but you worked. Angels didn't come down to build any part of that beautiful city that you have built out of a jungle. Where is the place of works? Where is the place of righteousness exalting a country? How many words have been spoken in rebuke of the evil that has overtaken our country, either by Muslim clerics or by Christian clerics? How many? Just how many? The other day, thanks again to Bello, we got to know that those they considered senior clerics were given a certain sum, lower clerics were given a certain sum because they went to Aso Rock to go and see Bulaba. Listen, of exactly what use is the clergy in a country that is apparently overtaken by so much evil? Look, today, a bank executive confessed to me that this shortage of naira, the scarcity of naira that we are seeing, is not contrived. It's simply scarce, it's not available. How is that possible? Even if you say you are transiting to electronic banking, it's not the same as saying that there simply isn't any cash available within the banking industry if you are not deliberately and willfully attacking and seeking to destroy your own currency. Who does the kind of things that have been done in Nigeria if the government is not deliberate about wanting to destroy the economic base of a country? Whilst we are busy praying against the devaluation, have you said anything about this? It's not. Let's talk about the citizens. Now, here's the thing. We're playing a game of charity. It's a game of pretense. We've already confirmed that our judiciary is not behaving the way a judiciary should behave. Confirmed. We've also agreed that the legislators are more or less looters. The executives are actually thieves. The clergy, largely complicit. We, the citizens, quote and unquote, who are actually the victims, playing to be citizens. You get it? You, me, we are victims. We pretend because we are told that we are citizens. Some of us are aware, and because we are aware, I am very, very much aware of my victimhood, because I cannot be anything but a victim in a country where the judiciary is as hopelessly compromised as our own is, where the legislators are essentially looters, where the executives, and when I say executive, stop thinking only about your governor. Part of the executive is your police. Part of the executive is your custom. Each and every one of the civil servants you are looking at are part and parcel of the executive. It's not just about Tinubu and your governors. It's about the chairman of that parastatal. It's about the MD of that water corporation. It's about each and every one of you who sit in government offices. That is the executive. So we, the victims, who believe ourselves to be citizens, what kind of mask are we wearing? Exactly what kind of mask are we wearing? Don't forget. If you please send victims, quote and unquote, citizens, who peoples the judiciary, they are the ones you find in the legislature, in the legislative houses. They are the ones you find executives. So we are all to blame. We are all wearing masks, pretending to be good people, but we are all wearing masks.
All right. Dele, Farotimi, firstly, I just want to say thank you very much, sir, for saying it how it is. When I see people like you that I look up to speaking truth to power, or rather saying things that I've already mentioned so many times, numerous of times on my platform, on my media, then I applaud myself. I applaud myself because at that particular time when I'm saying it, one or two persons might think, oh, what's this guy saying? I've mentioned this so many times on my platform, on my media, that the problem we have in Nigeria is not just the government. What about the citizens? Then I went on extensively by saying, what about the civil servants? Although I have something I want to talk about the civil servants anytime soon. So the problem we all are facing right now, holistically in Nigeria, is not just the government, it's everybody. In fact, if you look at it deeply, the citizens are even worse than the government. A lot of them are wearing masks just to get to that position, then to unleash their satanism on you and I. Dele Farotimi, thank you very much, sir, for saying it, Iris. Thank you very much, sir, for always standing for what is right, regardless of the criticism people are bestowing on you. I'd like us to listen to what Daddy Fraser have to say here as well. Let's take this quickly.
This message is for Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of RCCG. I do not believe in being rude to our elders. Neither do I believe in not being able to critique our elders. If we had not prayed, 1 naira will have been 10,000. $1 will have been 10,000 naira. God stepped in. I'm sorry, Sir, I disagree with this statement. God does not step in to countries to how do I put it? God does not step into affairs of countries when it comes to their finances. And sir, it would be wise, let me not say wise because I'm speaking to my elders now. It would be, in my humble opinion, better for us not to involve God. And here is why. The countries that don't worship God have fixed their economies. China, Europe, they don't worship our God. Japan, they don't believe in our God. So if our God prevented our naira from getting to 10,000, for our naira from $1 falling to 10,000 naira or rising to 10,000 naira, where it is now, can you compare it to Japan or Europe or even this UK? Last year, UK was declared predominantly irreligious. And they were able to a large extent, fix their economies. God does not have any interference when it comes to a country's economy. I don't believe that, and the data does not support this belief. And I'm saying this from a perspective of actually watching. Yes, Daddy Adeboye, I'm not one of the people that disagrees with Tinubu's or this present administration's philosophies and policies. No, I think this administration is on to something. I think they're working on something. It is too early to give credit, as it is also too early to dish out blame. I'm not one of those people that are politically motivated or how do I put it, sentimentally maneuverable. No. But I can tell you for free, sir, that Singapore was impoverished in 1960 when we were a wealthy nation. Singapore is predominantly Buddhist. Now, the Buddhists don't believe in any God. Buddhism is a religion where they have no deity. So it is an atheistic religion, a religion that does not believe in God. Singapore was impoverished in 1960. Singapore did not get their independence until 1965, 5 years after ours. Today, within the same time that we went from where we were, the lofty heights where we were, crashing to the bottom of the oceans where we are now, Singapore became the second most powerful passport in the world. At a point, they were the first. I think right now, in the current ratings, they are the second. Meaning, if I had a Singaporean passport, I would be able to go to more places than an American or a Canadian or a British man with their British, American, or Canadian passports. Singapore was colonized by the same people that colonized us. Today, Singapore is doing better than the UK. And they don't have a God. Their religion does not believe in God. So you cannot, sir, in my humble opinion, say that it was God that interfered. Yes, they say praying or prayer gives hope. I am not one of those people who buys into that philosophy. In my humble opinion, I believe prayer and religion gives false hope. All the countries in the world that were able to fix their economies, 90% of them are not praying countries. Prayer is not part of the Canadian financial stability. All Nigerians are rushing there. I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Canada. To Europe. You can't fix it with prayers. And the more we sell this prayer narrative, the more we deny the people the responsibility to take action. Let me tell you something, sir. I released a statement the other day. According to the current rating, the most prayerful country on earth is Afghanistan. Nigeria is the second. If you look at the list of the top 10 most prayerful countries on earth, they have one thing in common: poverty. Please, anybody, if you have your Google most prayerful countries on earth.
Very sad. Very, very sad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got the top 8, so I need to get the top 10. So let me just read from 9. Indonesia, number 9. Niger, number 8. Iraq, number 7. Iran, number 6. Djibouti, number 5. Senegal, number 4. Algeria, number 3. Nigeria, number 2. And Afghanistan at number 1. 95% of Nigerians pray, according to the statistics. Look at all the countries: Algeria, Nigeria, Niger, Afghanistan. Here. Let's now check the least religious countries on earth. We have Czech Republic, Netherlands, Ireland, Japan, Canada, UAE, Sweden, UK, Thailand, and Vietnam. Canada is there. UK is there. Japan is there. Ireland is there. Canada. These are the least religious countries on earth. So if we're claiming that praying is it's not like it's 1 naira to $1. Right now it's 1 naira to 1,700 and something. Last time I changed. So, sir, in my humble opinion, and I'm going to end here, when we attribute things that we should do by ourselves to divinity or to prayer, we deny ourselves the responsibility of fixing things.
All right. Thank you very much, Daddy Freeze, for always putting your voice out there all the time, especially in this area of religionism. You have educated a lot of people in Nigeria, although a lot of them have lambasted on you so many times. But keep saying and keep doing what you're doing. We all will continue to speak truth to power for Nigeria to be fixed. For you and I, to have a better Nigeria, we must be able to stand for what is right. We must be able to embrace what is right. We must be able to do what is right at all times. There's no compromise. The government are suffocating us every day. The same way the people are suffocating us. Let's assume that some of them are gullible. But what happened to these messages that are flying on social media? When are we going to learn? I'll leave the rest for you guys to put your own opinionism on the comment section. Let's hear from you. Thank you and take care. NAIJA Watch Media.